Very good morning to everyone. How is everyone doing today?
Very fine. Very fine. Yeah.
Okay,
And
awesome.
good to see you also.
Yes, good to hear you. I hope to see you
Yeah, yeah,
through the
yeah.
meeting.
Yeah. Sorry, hear you.
Awesome. So, yeah, welcome to another meeting of Toastmasters. Let's start today's meeting by a small grounding activity inspired from today's theme. So, to start with it, why don't we all close our eyes first? Take a deep inhale. Think about the most frustrating part of your week. Maybe something someone said that you didn't like. Um, Something happened that wasn't pleasant, or anything, something that you didn't try. Now think about it, feel it, and now exhale it out. Okay, let's do once more. Inhale. Think about your bad part of the week, and then exhale it out. Let it go. Let it stay in the previous week where it belongs. And with now, open your eyes. How do you all feel? Feel a little lighter.
Better, yeah, better.
So that's the goal. We leave everything that happened in the previous week where it belongs in that week itself. And now we start fresh with a clean slate, with a great Toastmaster meeting to kick off our week from this Sunday. So let's just bring that in. With that, I'd love to open the meeting. And before that, just put out some ground rules. Maybe if for existing members and if there are guests. So the mission statement for Toastmaster is to provide a learning and supportive, positive environment where members can feel empowered to develop their communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal. We do this through four core values of integrity, respect, service, and excellence. And proud to say that in our meeting, I've seen all four of them being very followed and upheld. So a few housekeeping rules that since it's online, so all of it holds for the online meeting. That when you're not speaking, please keep your mics off and keep your cameras on to make it more engaging. And while someone is speaking, please don't type on chat. Keep your phone on silence so as to give the full attention to the meeting. And finally, be respectful or avoid talking about sensitive subjects such as religion, sex, and politics. With that, I'd hand over the microphone to our presiding officer for today, Toastmaster Mel. Toastmaster Mel.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Soumya, for this warm welcome. Good morning, everyone. I welcome you all to today's meeting of Leaders Connect Toastmasters Club and Toastmasters Club of Storytellers. It's truly wonderful to see everyone here in the meeting today, early in the morning. I hope you all are ready for an engaging and insightful session by Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Raja, that is 80 is to 20 principle. Before moving on to the theme of the meeting today, I have an important announcement to make regarding the oration. So, you must know that District 41 has this important annual event that's called Oration, and the day passes for Oration is still live. I would request if anyone of you wants to join us at Lee Meridian, then you can purchase your day passes. The day passes would be available for the event on 22nd, 23rd, and 24th of May. As per your convenience, you can take up a pass and you uh, would be able to witness some speeches, that is the International Speech Contest in District 41 and the Table Topics Contest that is also happening on Saturday. So if you wish to take, you can take the day passes now. Other than that, we for the guests, I see that we have Toastmaster Manish joining us from Online Speakers Toastmasters Club. I would request him to come up on stage and speak up a few lines about himself and introduce himself to the members.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Seema. So, hi all. My name is Manish. I'm part of Online Speaker Toastmaster Club. With Toastmaster, it has been almost 3 years I've been part of. And I have been a VP membership, VP PR, and currently I have become the president for the Online Speaker Toastmaster Club. Okay, and in terms of the profession, it's been 17 years I have been working in IT industry, mainly for e-commerce as well as for banking domain I have worked. So while being part of Toastmaster, it has actually helped me to improve my communication skill, where I have to deal with various stakeholders as well as with teams. And many times we have to come across very difficult conversations that we have to do, where you have to be very confident and at the same time convey your message. I think Toastmaster has actually given me that platform where you can actually practice those situations and at the same time be your best version in front of your customer. That's all from my side. I'll hand over the stage back to Toastmaster Seema.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Manish, for introducing yourself to the club members. And we are looking forward for your speech as well this time. So all the best to you. And now I don't see any more guests in the meeting today. We have two beautiful speeches today in the meeting. I guess one is an icebreaker speech. So we're all ready for it. And now the theme for the meeting, that is 80-20 rule, which is also called as Pareto principle. If I remember, I have studied about this in my marketing classes. So I would want to know more from Toastmaster Raja. After all, he is the Toastmaster of the day. So without further ado, let's invite Toastmaster Raja on stage so that he can carry forward with this theme with a huge round of applause.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mehak. I recently read this book known as The 80-20 Principle by Richard Koch. And I had worked for a Japanese company for around 13 years. And if you work for Japanese company, you know that 80-20 principle is the key for their success. And whenever they face any problem, they implement this process. They implement this methodology and they achieve the desired result with less effort. What I heard from other people who have also implemented this in their life, they said that this helps them in succeeding in their professional as well as personal life. And this principle is also known as the Pareto principle. And one more name is also there, the law of the vital few. While the ratio is often cited as 80-20, conventional wisdom suggests that the actual imbalance may vary, sometimes as extreme as 90-10 or more moderate as 60-40 as well. For example, in my previous organization, 2 years back, we have got the target of achieving cost saving of around 10 crores by making a cross-functional team. As a cross-functional team, we had identified 10-11 ideas by which we can achieve the cost saving of 10 crore. But the problem was when we implement these 10 to 11 ideas, the time we will take was around 1 year. And then we identified that if we take only top 2 initiatives, then we can save around 8 crore for the company. And as a CFT, we had decided to implement those 2 ideas first. And in just 2 months, we have achieved around 8.5 crores of saving and strengthened our point in front of our management that we can save a very good cost saving for the company. I want to ask from the audience if you have observed this kind of principle in your own life, in personal or professional life.
Yes, Toastmaster Raja, I think I have observed this principle and I have tried to apply it as well to get the maximum results. Uh, and unless we think consciously about it, we normally feel that everything is important. But if everything is important, then nothing is important. So when we identify the key things which should give us the maximum results, then our uh, sort of life changes, I would say. That's been my experience with this principle.
Yes, definitely. If you will consider all tasks which are to be done by us as important, then nothing will be important. And in on similar line, my boss used to say this: everybody's responsibility is nobody's responsibility. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mohit, for putting your point. Anyone else who want to say something about 80-20 principle?
That 80-20 principle applies only in the office, in a professional way, but not anywhere else, because in house it's everybody's responsibility and nobody's responsibility. What I feel.
As per Richard, who is the author of this book, he says that it is equally important to implement this idea in our personal life as well. For example, if you want to impress your partner, there can be multiple things, but there are few ideas by which he or she can get impressed by little effort. Hence, this idea can be implemented in our personal life as well.
Can you please elaborate it in personal life?
Yes, for example, there are many methods by which we can impress our partner. We can spend multiple stream of we can spend our income also. We can spend our savings, but even just a small rose can make her day. Hence, by small effort, we can achieve good result as well. This is just a small example, but this is equally important to implement this idea in our personal life, and this depends upon the person who want to implement it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so
Yes.
much for giving the insight. Thank you.
Most welcome. Anybody else?
So, as far as I remember, I think it was in my marketing class when I heard about this Pareto principle, and it said that 80% of sales come from 20% of the people. So, we are supposed to retain those 20% of the chunk, and that's how you need to maximize your effort, not putting too much effort, but put effort on those 20% of the people to retain them, and you get the 80% of your sales and the effort and the profit itself.
I'll explain this when I'll come to the part that when I'll explain how to use 80-20 principle. This is very important thing to know that 20% of our customers give 80% of the business.
Can I give one example?
Yes.
Yeah, this has been seen especially in this institutional areas like FITGI, Akash, and everywhere, like the top institutes, where they know that these 10 students will give us results. They will put the maximum effort on those 10 students, and for that rest of the students, they are putting their efforts, but not their best and the maximum efforts. And those 10 students get the results, name the institution, and by 80% their salary, they take these students for the salary of the professors or teachers, but the 20% is only giving them the name, fame, and result, which I have felt.
They're very correct. And when you see institutions like Stanford or Harvard, only 10 to 15% succeed whenever they graduate from those colleges. But when you see their reserve, they have billions of dollars in their reserve, these universities. And these universities get very good amount from their alumni. And those alumni are only 10 to 15% who contribute to these institutions. You are very correct that this can be implemented in institutions as well. Very true. And when I was reading this book, Richard explained 80% of whatever we achieve comes from 20% of the time we spend on those things. Then he had given an example that 80% of sales come from 20% of product. Then 80% sales come from 20% of customers. Even 20% criminals contribute to 80% of crime. And 20% YouTubers get 80% of the viewership. This principle was discovered by, yes, you were saying something? This principle was discovered by Italian economist Vilfredo Pareto. While he was studying the wealth pattern of Britishers in British economy, he found that large proportion of money was with very few number of people. Then he had studied across the countries as well, in US and in other nations also. And this pattern was repeating, that very few people have most of the wealth with them. And one more example which he quoted in his book was when he was studying in his college, his lecturer explained him that don't read book cover to cover. Always read conclusion, then introduction, and then again conclusion. If you want, you can read 2 or 3 important topics within the book, but this will give you the overall gist. I will come to how to use 80-20 principle in another session. Before that, coming to our meeting, any meeting cannot be successful without a structure. As we want to make our meeting successful, hence we have segregated our meeting in 3 parts. First part is about prepared speeches. Second is about table topics, where we will hone on our impromptu skills. And we cannot conclude without evaluation. Hence, last part of our meeting is evaluation. In every Toastmaster meeting, we speak, we listen, and we grow. But growth doesn't happen by chance. It happens through structured feedback. That's where one role becomes very important, the general evaluator. General evaluator is the person who sees the meeting as a whole. They observe not just what we say, but how we say it. Not just individual performances, but the overall experience. They evaluate the evaluator, the roles, the timings, the energy, everything that takes place in the meeting. That is why I want to introduce general evaluator of today, Toastmaster Mehak. Toastmaster Mehak, please come upon the virtual stage and explain your role and introduce your team as well.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Raja. Greetings once again, everyone. Today, I'm going to play the role of general evaluator. And as a general evaluator, my role is divided into 3 parts. The first one being the evaluation of the prepared speeches. The evaluators will evaluate the prepared speeches. The second part being the evaluation by the tag team players, that is the timer, our counter, and the grammarian. And the third one being the evaluation for the overall meeting. So first, I would like to introduce our tag team for the meeting today and would call on stage grammarian for the meeting to explain his role. I would like to invite on stage Toastmaster Mohit to please take it forward and introduce your role as the grammarian.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mehak. So did you know that it pays to increase your word power? Yes, and I mean it literally. I'm reading a book like in Toastmasters we always do. This book by Wilfred Funk. It's called 6 Weeks to the Words of Power. And in this book, the author has talked about a research which proves that there is a strong connection between a person's vocabulary and their earning potential. So as the grammarian for today, it is my responsibility to help all of us to improve our word power, one word at a time or one phrase at a time. So today I bring to you a word of the day and a phrase of the day, which is in line with the theme for the day, which is Pareto principle. So the word of the day today is leverage. Leverage means that you use something that you already have to achieve better result. This word leverage can be used as a verb as well as a noun. It can be used as a noun when you talk about leverage as an advantage or an influence or some power to get the desired results. Please use the word of the day as much as possible during the speeches whenever you come on the stage. The phrase of the day today is find the lever. So this means don't do everything. Find that one thing that moves the needle the most. So use the phrase of the day as well as much as possible. As is obvious, the root of these words and this phrase comes from the word lever, which means like a tool which can be used to lift heavy weight or heavy objects. So just like we can use a tool to lift heavy objects, we can use leverage to gain the maximum results out of the tools or the resources that we have in our hand. So every time the word of the day or the phrase of the day is used by somebody, I would request everybody in the audience to show a thumbs up as encouragement. And with that, you can increase your word power. And as Wilfred would say, you can even earn better. Now, let me hand over the stage back to our general evaluator of the day with that thought. Back to you, Mahek.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mohit, for giving us the leverage of using the word of the day as well as the idiom of the day in the meeting today. I would request everyone to use it as much as possible. Now, coming up, next I would like to invite on stage our counter for the meeting, that is Toastmaster Mohit, to Toastmaster Manish to introduce his role.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mehak. So as a counter, I'll be looking for any filler words that you are using in your speech, be it in your speech or in a table topic. Filler words would be like but, or anything that you are like when you are thinking something or you are doing a sentence formation. So many a times what happens is we start using filler words while we are thinking to connect the sentences. And that is something which we need to avoid. So those words I'll be catching, and at the end of the session, I'll be sharing the reports for each of the member on to how many counts they have used different types of filler words. Over to you, Toastmaster Meg.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Manish, for introducing your role so well as an our counter for the meeting. Next, the role of the timer is still open, and I would request anyone who wishes to take this role from the meeting today can come forward and take this opportunity to time the individuals, speeches, table topics. Anyone from the meeting would like to take this role? Toastmaster Soumya, Toastmaster Geeta.
I was out for some time. Can you please repeat what role you are asking for?
Timer. Would you like to take the role of timer?
But how orange light, red light and that light I would like कैसे करूंगी मैं मुझे समझ में नहीं है वो I don't know how to do it कैसे करना है
You would have to share the screen to show the timing cards.
Where is the cards? I don't know now. I have never. Can you please tell me?
Okay, I can help with the timer part if that is required. For my speech, I will not be able to do it, but for the others, I can help with the timer part.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Toastmaster Manish. Would you like to introduce your role? Then for your speech, I would time you.
Okay, sure.
Yes, you can take up the stage and please introduce the role as a timer as well.
Oh, so as a timer, I would be checking on the time that you are delivering a speech. For a prepared speech, we generally give 5 to 7 minutes for a prepared speech section where the speaker has to complete his speech within 5 minutes. If the person is going at when the person is giving the speech within 5 minutes, I'll be showing a green color. And if the speech goes to 6 minutes, I'll be showing yellow color. And beyond 7, I'll be showing a red color. You get a grace period of 30 seconds. So that means 7 minutes and 30 seconds is what you get to deliver your speech max. Beyond that, your speech will be disqualified. Okay. Coming to the table topics. So for the table topics also, we give around 2 to 3 minutes. So for the 2 minutes, I'll be showing the green color. For 2 minutes and 30 seconds, I'll be showing yellow color. And at 3 minutes, I'll be showing red color. Again, for the table topics, you will get 30 seconds as a grace period. So after 30 minutes, like 2 minutes and 30 seconds will be the total window. Beyond that, the speaker will be disqualified. I hope that is fine. And I'll be sharing my screen while the speaker would be coming onto the stage so that they can see the color there itself and they can time their speeches accordingly. With that said, I'll hand over the stage back to Toastmaster Mehak.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Manish, for taking up two roles, the timer as well as the hour counter. And with this is my tag team, and I would present the overall report as the general evaluator for the meeting towards the end of the meeting. And I would now like to pass on the stage back to Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Raja, to continue with this scene. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mehak, for explaining your role and introducing your team. Coming to the theme of for today, 80-20 principle. Richard explained that how to use 80-20 principle. He explained two methods. First is 80-20 analysis and second is 80-20 thinking. He explained by these two things, we can implement this idea in our own life very easily. First is 80-20 analysis by which organizations can achieve success in their field. In this analysis, if firm identifies 20% of customers who are giving 80% of business, then these organizations can focus on these 20 customers, what kind of discount they can give so that they can leverage their potential in the business. But this analysis cannot be done by individuals in their own life. Hence, he had introduced the idea of 80-20 thinking. We can implement this by continuously thinking about 80-20 principle. What are those 20% tasks which will give me enormous impact on my life? There can be multiple tasks in a day or a week or a month. But if we focus on top 20%, then we can get 80% of the results, 80% of the appreciation by doing only those things in our life. He also explained that this can be done by giving ourselves 20 to 30 minutes in a day. In those 20-30 minutes, we can think and jot down all the things which we want to do. And then think that what are those 20% of these tasks which can give us the maximum impact. And this is called 80-20 thinking. Yes, Toastmaster Mohit.
Yeah, I was actually reminded of something which may be related, so I thought I'll share it here. So my son was in class 12 and he's reasonably good in studies and he's getting a lot of supports in terms of tuitions and all also. But there was only one problem, his handwriting. And that meant that his results would always, not be good, and maybe because the teacher was not even able to understand what was written. So how can she mark something, even if he wrote the right answers? So we did a lot of sort of finding out what could be the root causes, and we narrowed down on handwriting. But even then, we couldn't do anything to fix it because it takes a long time to fix this problem. And then finally, I think the only thing which helped was that there was a favorite comic book of his which he studied, which he read in his earlier days when he was a kid, and which had this book. This book, his comic book, was written in comic font. So I just put that comic book in front of his study desk, and I said, just try to follow the way it is written in this comic book. And this, just having it sit there in front of him for a duration of, say, 2 weeks, meant that he was able to change his handwriting into a handwriting which was legible. So small change and a huge result, because we couldn't like turn this situation around. We tried everything, and just 2 weeks, that was like a huge change in the situation. And again, maybe because of that, those small 20% change can bring a enormous result. So I thought it was related, and I could think of this, so sharing it here.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mohit, for sharing your realization. And definitely, this is true. Whenever a child gets a very interactive solution, then he definitely follows it. And there can be multiple ways by which handwriting can be improved. He can write multiple words in a day, 1,000 words in a day, but that will be very painful for him. But it's very interactive, and with much less effort, you have implemented your idea. Thank you so much for sharing this. Anybody else who want to share his or her personal story? Because I have a very personal story related to 80-20 principle. I'll share it now. In my professional life, I observed I observed the mistake of my ex-boss, and then how other person promoted in very early age by implementing 80-20 principle in his life. Anybody else who want to share it? His or her own experience?
Yeah. Hi, this is Gayatri.
Just Toastmaster Gayatri.
Yeah. Actually, I wanted to improve my physical fitness. So I approached many techniques for this, like swimming and running. Many things I tried to implement, but I felt like I was so overwhelmed, and I could not improve also. So after that, I met a physical trainer, and he suggested only a few things. Either you just focus on swimming or something, because previously I implemented many things, and he suggested to use only one effort, and he suggested some exercises. After that, I felt like I improved a lot. So it is not necessary focusing on many things, and can improve only the efficient things is important. So that's I learned. So I hope this will matches with the 80-20 rule.
Correct. Thank you, Toastmaster Gayatri, for sharing your own story.
Thank you.
Explain my own story after this round. Now,
Right.
next, yes. Anybody?
Now I want to share my experience that 80-20 rule I mostly use in my office every day, because just like next day I will get a list of the work what needs to be done in that day. Then I see which work is had a more critical, that put the 80% effort of the day. I take the charge of this work in my own hand and put on my observation, and the rest of the work I delegate to my team member to take care of it yourself. That will help to reduce my work burden, workload, because they will very happy that they have got easy work, and I got sure that this is the critical work that need to be done under my observation. So I keep this work got as per 80-20 principle.
And one thing I would like to share,
Yes.
I'm a very emotional person, and I used to take so many medicines for sugar, something for my stress also. People used to say me that you do running, you do this, you do that. Somebody says you should go to temples. Somebody says you should have kitty parties, your friendships. But nothing works out because being an office going woman, I have not so much of time with me also. So my son says you should read. My brother says you should do Sudoku, but nothing works out. And one day, a friend of mine, she said that you go to this institution called Brahmakumaris, and I went there in Saket. I learned the meditation techniques. I'm not going there regularly. I'm not following them like wearing white clothes and everything because I'm a gazetted officer. I have to go to office also. I have a house also. There are many other responsibilities. So I cannot be like them, but they give me so techniques of meditation that I get up by 5 o'clock and 4 o'clock every day in the morning and do meditation, and everything gets sorted out on own. I don't have to put any effort on that. Previously, what I am putting my whole energy on that, now I am putting my 20% energy or little energy, and my everything gets sorted out. So one thing works for my rest of the 80 things. What I believe so. Thank you so much.
I hope you have given answer of your own question. You had implemented 80-20 principle in your own life. It is
Yeah,
a perfect example of implementing Pareto principle in our own life.
yeah,
Thank you for sharing. And this is the beauty of Toastmaster family, where we share our personal examples, which we cannot share in our offices or any other place. Thank you so much.
thank you so much.
Now coming to the next portion of our Toastmaster meeting, which is the pillar of Toastmaster meeting. That is the speakers round. First of all, I want to introduce Toastmaster Kanchan. Toastmaster Kanchan, please come up on the stage to introduce Toastmaster Manish.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Raja. And good morning, everyone. My name is Kanchan Maurya. Today, I'm the evaluator for the speech of Toastmaster Manish. He's delivering his speech from the pathway leadership development and from the level 3. And his speech title is Celebrating Small Habits That Lead to Big Results. And his speech objective is make connections through networking. Timer, please note down that timing would be 5 to 7 minutes. And my role would be listening the speech carefully and highlighting his strength and providing constructive feedback. I'll be presenting my report at the end of the meeting. All the best to the speaker and back to TM Modi. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kanchan. As Toastmaster Manish is giving icebreaker speech, let us give him standing ovation before he'll deliver the speech. Maybe after the delivery, Toastmaster
Small
Mohit?
correction. It's not an icebreaker speech. Actually, it's a level 3 speech.
Level 3, okay.
Yeah.
And over to
So,
you, Toastmaster Manish. Yes.
Yeah.
Toastmaster
Mohit wants to say something.
Pankaj's speech is the icebreaker speech, so which is
Okay.
the next speaker, I guess.
Understood. Over to you, Toastmaster Manish.
Yeah, just a second. Oh, fine.
Your face is not visible.
The page is not visible. Okay. Is it better now?
No. Little better, but we cannot see your eyes.
Okay. Then let me change the camera angle. Just. Yeah, then deliver a speech while sitting, then may not be possible right now. There is some lightning
So-
issue as well. I don't know why
Now
on
we-
Teams it's coming very dark. I've been on other calls on Zoom, but it was a little brighter. Not sure. Okay, I'll start with.
We can hear you now. We can see you clearly. You can go ahead.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Raja. Okay, so good morning, everyone. So today I'm going to talk about a very simple but a very profoundly powerful topic, that is small habits that lead to big results. Okay. Many times we have heard that for a life-changing events, whenever something happens with us, so that time we think about, okay, we need to do something about making some improvement in ourselves, in the way we work or the way we manage our relationships with friends or colleagues. Okay. But it is not actually the life-changing events which has to be a trigger point. A trigger point can be the moment you decide, okay, I want to improve myself. That is the first step. And then that comes that you are start making certain habits which actually help you to progress. That is where the small habit starts playing in. You might have heard about a book called Atomic Habits. The author of the book mentioned that if you want to master a habit, the key is to start doing the repetition, not perfection. Okay. Perfection is something which comes later. Repetition is something which starts first. Repetition is the thing which actually helps you to form a habit. There was one scientific study which told that if you start doing certain things for continuously for 21 days, that time it start becoming your habit. If you stop in between, it will not become your habit. So that is something we need to be very judicious on and take the leverage of inculcating as a part of our day-to-day life. Now I'll give you certain examples. So the first one being health and fitness. I know health is very much important and we all are aware of it. I'll give you a very basic thing. Many a times doctor says, okay, if you don't have that much time to go to gym and spend 1 hour, why can't you just walk for 20 minutes or even 30 minutes? Maybe after you are having a lunch in your workplace, you can go for a stroll while you are collecting with your colleagues. That is also a dual benefit. You are socializing with your colleagues and at the same time you are walking. So that is you are reaping two benefits, right? So this is very small step. You may not even realize how much benefit you will get. But down the line, you will see when you start practicing walking itself every day 30 minutes for a week, for a month, or even for 6 months, you will yourself feel that my health has improved. Many a times we are under stress because the customer is escalating. Sometimes the wife is angry on certain things, right? So there are a lot of things that comes in. Sometimes the kids are not listening to you. So walking is one of the best way to reduce your stress level and it also gives you a time to think and decide what could be my best course of action. Now here I'll ask a question to this entire group. Anybody who has recently create made a small habit which they want to improve within themselves? Anybody? It could be related to health, it could be related to studies, it could be related to anything where you have started doing certain things again and again. Yeah, Toastmaster Gayatri want to say something.
You just asked this in habit. That's why I raised the
Yeah,
hand.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, I recently started doing the meditation, um, um, so that it is calming my mind. So
That's good. Because meditation is in itself is also another aspect where it actually helps you to calm your nervous system. And at the same time, it actually helps you to think. It brings clarity. Anybody else also wants to share? I think Toastmaster Hitendra want to say something. Yeah.
Yeah, Toastmaster Manish, I like to improve my habit of reading. I keep a book with me. Right now, also I have a book. My daughter
Great.
has finished and gave me challenge to finish this in a couple of weeks. She finished it already. I'm still halfway. I try to at least read 5 pages if I'm really tired, but sometimes I am not able to keep up with my promise to myself on reading. Would be really happy to see the secret how to be a consistent reader.
Yes, definitely. In fact, I'll share you one of my experience as to how I am trying to do it. Maybe if that helps you, you can always try that. Okay. So what I have been doing is, in terms of learning and fitness or whatever the area where you want to develop a habit, what you can do is set a timer in your phone. Okay. Let's say I have to read 10 pages. Maximum I'll read 10 pages and it will take me, let's say 15 minutes or maximum 30 minutes. Okay. You have to block your time, whatever time when you are not having client calls or anything related to project work or official work, right? It could be at the time of when you are going for a sleep, okay, or early morning at 5 a.m. Okay, you set the timer, you tell your family members, okay, during this 30 minutes, I'll not be available unless until there is something very urgent. Okay, so your family will understand, okay, why you are doing this. You tell the objective, they will be there to support you. Okay, at the end of the day, whatever, because for me, it works at in the night. So I generally set it the timer in the night and I tell them, okay, I'm having certain things and I'm going to be not available for next 30 minutes. And that actually helps me to start doing it. Some days it could be not 30 minutes, it might be 10 minutes or 15 minutes. But what matters is consistency. Okay. It cannot be that, okay, every day I have to spend 30 minutes. Okay, some days you may read only 5 pages, but then what you have to do is you need to make sure you are repeating your habit. That is what is matter. One day you may read 5 day pages, the second day you may read 15 pages, and gradually your speed of reading will also improve. Then down the line, within 50 minutes, you may even read 20 pages. You never know it. Okay. So that is how we can develop our habits. And that was actually my second example also I wanted to discuss about learning and growth. So thanks for sharing your views. In the end, I'll recommend everyone, whatever the goal you have, even if taking a sip of water every day instead of soda, or journaling anything that you want to, or practice gratitude, set up some time. Okay, and never be confined. Okay, if I'm spending 30 minutes for this activity, never be confined because many times our mind says, I will not get 30 minutes, so I will not work on this. Don't do that. Don't procrastinate it. Use the leverage that I have 5 minutes also, I'll do 5 minutes work. And that way you will continue to repeat your habits and you will succeed down the line. So with that said, I'll hand over the stage back to Toastmaster Mehak.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mahesh. Manish, let us take 1 minute and give feedback to Toastmaster Manish for his incredible speech. We can give our feedback in the comment section. Timer, please help us to know whenever 1 minute will get over. Thank you, everyone. Coming to the speaker two, Toastmaster Pankaj, I would like to invite Toastmaster Hirinder, who will be evaluating his speech. Toastmaster Hirinder, please come upon the virtual stage and introduce the speaker.
Thank you, Toastmaster Raja. So our next speaker is Toastmaster Pankaj, who's a banking professional. He finds a joy in rail fanning, chess, running, deep dive reading, and he is now stepping into the next growth zone, building his voice and presence in the public speaking. And today's speech is the icebreaker for Pankaj Pandey, and the speech duration will be 6 minutes. All the best to Pankaj.
Thank you, Toastmaster Hirinder. Toastmaster Pankaj, your eyes and forehead is not visible. Can you please change the angle of the camera?
Now,
Not visible.
now I'm audible. Audible.
You are audible, but you are not. Your eyes is not visible. Eyes and forehead. You can change the angle of your camera.
So Toastmaster Raja, just want to intervene here. I'm not sure, but at least for me, the camera is very clear for Toastmaster Pankaj.
Yeah, for me as well, Mohit. I
For
was
me
able to.
too. For me too.
If just
Eyes was not able to see his eyes and forehead.
just now it's clear.
Camera is very clear.
I now
Yes,
all
yes.
clear.
Now it is perfect.
Perfect. Okay. Let's start. Good morning,
So-
Toastmaster
so-
and
Wait.
fellow guests. Good morning, Toastmaster and fellow guests. The topic is icebreaker. When I see the word icebreaker, I Google on the net and found something meaning of the icebreaker. Icebreaker is just nothing a small destination ship. When in the colder region, the sea is covered with the ice, and the large behemoth ship cannot cross this cold region. Then the icebreaker road come into the picture. It will create the pathway by breaking the ice which is coming on the way and provide the pathway to ship to cross to the ocean, sea, or to take to the coastal region. Here, the icebreaker it means something is to just to break the ice and to connect me with the people of the Toastmaster and the fellow guests to just create an environment for us. So here today at 10 May, I become break the ice and join the journey of the Toastmaster. Myself Pankaj Pandey. I'm working. Myself Pankaj Pandey. I'm born in a small village in Sultanpur. I'm born and brought up at a very city due to the transferable job. My father is a retired banker, and I live with my wife and one son. My journey starts from the city of Udaipur, city of palace, a lake and palace called Udaipur. From where I keep on moving to various city like a city of the Hindu and religion holy place Ajmer, and back to settle to the Lucknow. From where I complete my graduation, BCom, MCom, and MBA. Suddenly, I joined the bank after placement and got a city of Sayaji called Vadodara. From where I started my banking journey and keep on moving and transferable. Then I got opportunity to travel in the city of Chaurat called Rajkot and back to the World Heritage City called Ahmedabad. Now present, I got again transferred to the Delhi. From here, I am sitting and working in the bank. My journey is just like keep moving on favor and love and enjoy this. But there is one thing I would like to share. That is a hobby. Someone is saying having a good hobby is one of the best enjoyment time. It is the best meditative time also. But do you hear there is Baker group, there is Harley Davidson group, there is a Ferrari group. But I have something special hobby. That's never hear by you. That is a rail funding group. It's just a passion and crazy about the railway. For railway locomotive, from how the train run, what timetable schedule. I love the railway city. It's just like a garden where it's just hear the chanting of the chai chai, just armona of the aloo sabji, chole bhature, and here the puff of steam from the steam locomotive, the chugging from the diesel locomotive, and the humming from the electric locomotive. This is my own journey. I really love it. But one thing I hate is that is the Vande Bharat aircraft. It lost all the charm. It's just like a Mercedes Benz. How can I enjoy the door and this seat? There is some few items which I keep on collecting and maintaining. That is added in the part of my hobby is the rail modeling. Just like it is the steam locomotive that is I got gifted from the railway official. And second one is that is a train set that I got from the Germany. There is something more important thing I want to share that basically I'm the deaf and technically I'm medically cochlear implanted on my head. I love it. I sometimes feel bad about my disability, but I sometimes feel it is the good. It is enough. It is the factor. We cannot change it. I take this death as an opportunity from working on the victim from sorry, now, rather than playing the victim role, I take as an empowerment role and create as own personal brand and moving ahead in my life. From before I was starting with the Toastmaster journey, earlier I was joined in the Toastmaster of Ahmedabad, that is Ahmedabad Toastmaster Club. But due to the transfer and the personal obligation, it created a big gap. But now I back to the Delhi with the help of your help and support. I again rejoined the Toastmaster journey and decided to pick up and move on the Toastmaster journey. Thank you. Over to you to
Thank you, Toastmaster Pankaj. Let us give him a big round of applause and a standing ovation. Thank you, Toastmaster Pankaj, for delivering your icebreaker. It was a great speech. And now I would like to request everyone to give their comments, give their feedback to Toastmaster Pankaj in the comment section. Let us take 1 minute. Thank you, everyone. Please keep writing in the comment section. Now I'll be explaining a very important concept that Richard explained in his book 80-20 Principle. And this concept is known as time revolution. He suggests that we cannot do everything in our life, whatever we want, whatever we have decided for ourselves. Hence, he has given this concept of time revolution. And this can be understood with the example of Ivy Lee method that I had heard, that I had read in a very good book of Napoleon Hill, The Law of Success, where Napoleon Hill asked, why do we work so much, yet often feel like we achieve so little? at the beginning of 20th century, around 1925, a public relations pioneer named Ivy Lee was invited by one of the richest businessmen of that time, Charles Schwab, to solve exactly this problem. Schwab wanted to improve the productivity of his team and asked Ivy Lee how much he should pay for the advice. Interestingly, Lee replied that he didn't want anything upfront and asked Schwab to pay him after 3 months based on the results. Instead of offering complex frameworks or long strategies, Lee gave a surprisingly simple method. At the end of each day, write down the 6 most important tasks for the next day. Prioritize them in order of importance, and then the next day, start with the first task and complete it fully before moving to the next one. No multitasking, no distractions, just focus execution. After 3 months, Schwab was so impressed by the transformation in productivity that he wrote Lee a check of $25,000, which would be equivalent to around $4 lakhs in today's time. That is 3.8 crores INR. This single advice worth 3.8 crore is available with us. And this method is known as Ivy Lee method. The Ivy Lee method forces us to focus on what truly matters by limiting our tasks to just 6, helping us identify critical few that drive most impact. In today's world of constant notifications, meetings, distractions, we are overwhelmed with activity but often lack meaningful achievement. Let us all try to implement this idea in our own lives. If anyone have any feedback or any comment, he or she can mention. Otherwise, we will move to TTM section. So, Sponsor Mohit, you want to say something?
I'm fascinated by this idea that you just shared about Ivy Lee method, which is seemingly such a simple technique. And the way you are explaining it is something that we can leverage to give ourselves fantastic outcomes. So just by having uh, taken down the 6 most important things that we plan to do for the next day, and then without any distractions, doing it one by one in that sequence. I mean, what can be simpler than that? And I think it's just consistency which will start showing us the results. And personally, I think I follow something. I didn't know about this Ivy Lee method till today until you shared it. But something similar is what I do practice, right? I keep this one pager where I note down or schedule the events as I plan to do them in the day by the time, and then I use that one pager for the planning of the next day in the evening. And I have seen that it has really been the reason for whatever little success I've had in my life. So totally uh, agree with that. And thank you for sharing this. I think there's no simpler tool to leverage to give us fantastic outcomes. So thanks. I'm amazed by the session today and all the research that you would have done to come up with this.
Thank you.
Can I have a small?
Yes.
Can I have a small humor in between? A one-line
Definitely.
humor. I am impressed with the idea of money. 3.80. Yeah, that was so impressive that सारी आते बदल देंगे.
Actually, I read this method in 2023, and I had written a blog on this idea, and I've got very good response on this blog. Around 10,000 people read this article, and I got very good feedback, and this motivated me to write more at that time. And when I was planning to deliver this session, I remembered this theme, and then I connected both things, 80-20 and Ivy Lee method. Yes, Toastmaster Manish, you had raised your hand.
Yeah, I wanted to share similar experience. It is from the workplace, I'll tell you. So we used to get a lot of issues from the customer, like, okay, when the things are deployed to the production, so then obviously a lot of issues comes first time. So what we had a situation is like you get tons of bugs. Now we need to target which bug to target, which will have the maximum impact. So what we used was the same technique, 80-20 principle. So we targeted those 20% bugs which were having the maximum impact from the customer's business per se. So when we resolve those 20% bugs, maximum problem the customer was facing got resolved, resulting in better relationship with the customer, lower stress level for our developers and the testers, at the same time for the customers too. So yes, this Pareto principle can be applied to the workplace as well as to your personal life, and it delivers results. Okay, it is not like it will not deliver results or it will deliver just 50% or 5%. No, you just need to make sure that that 20% that you are identifying, that is very right. If that 20% is right, you will definitely get 80% result. That's for sure. And I have personally observed this thing, so I can vouch for it. Yeah, that's all.
Thank you, Toastmaster Manish, for sharing your personal example from your professional life. We have got good examples from personal as well as professional life, which we can relate to 80-20 principle. Coming to the next section, they say the best way to test a speaker is not with preparation, but with spontaneity. That's exactly what Table Topics is all about. It's the segment where we think on our feet, speak from the heart, and turn a random question into a meaningful message. No script, no rehearsals, just pure presence of mind. Please join me in welcoming our table topic master for today, Toastmaster Gayatri. Toastmaster Gayatri, please come upon the virtual stage. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Good morning, everyone. I'm the table topic master of today's meeting. This is a session to leverage our impromptu speaking skills. As a table topic master, I'll be giving away the topics to both Toastmasters as well as the guest. Each speaker is expected to speak for a minimum of 1 minute and a maximum of 2 minutes. So timer will show the green card at the end of 1 minute and the red card at the end of 2 minutes. So your timeline mostly lies between these two cards, and also there will be a grace period of 30 seconds beyond the red card. I'm thinking I'll begin with guest volunteers first, and then non-role takers, and then I'll invite the Toastmasters role takers. Okay. So, and one more important thing, grammarian has shared the word of the day, so please try to use that in your speech. So hope everything is clear. I think I can hear the echo. Anyone?
Hi, Toastmaster Gayatri.
Hello. Yes, we are hearing you.
I can hear the echo. Is it?
You have some issues with the audio. You mean you are getting an echo?
So for you, all okay, ma?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's all
Okay.
Word of the day is
Leverage.
idiom.
Idiom to lever. What's that? Grammarian.
Idiom of
Find
the
the
day
lever.
is just one request for the timer. Since the timer is shared, it sort of blocks the view for the speaker. So can I request Toastmaster Manish that you bring up the shared screen at the end of say 1 minute and then take it off after a few seconds. Similarly, 1:30 and 2. So that way we can still
Yeah.
see the speaker most of the time.
Sure, sure.
Thank you. Gayatri, are you good? Are you still facing some issues?
I can hear the echoes. It's okay, no problem.
Okay, okay.
So may I have some volunteers? Guest volunteers especially.
Actually, most of the people present today are,
Okay,
in fact,
okay.
I think all of them are
Fine,
actually Toastmasters only. So you can just choose.
Okay, okay. The first topic is for Toastmaster Mohit.
Okay.
The topic is you can speak only 100 words per day. How would you choose them? If you can speak only 100 words per day, how would you choose them? Toastmaster Mohit.
Thank you, Toastmaster Gayatri. If I can use only 100 words per day, how would I choose them? It's quite a challenging topic because we are used to speaking so much all the time that if there's some sort of limit attached to the word usage, then we'll have to be very mindful of what we choose. I would, in that case, apply the Pareto principle, the 80-20 principle, and start from the first step, which is the thinking itself. I'll focus on thinking the right things so that my words and then my actions follow from whatever I'm thinking. So I would like to clean up my thought process first as a first step. Then when it comes to using the words, I would want to be careful about choosing the words which give the maximum leverage, the maximum results from whatever I choose as words. And how I would do that is perhaps just taking one example, right? So there are 4 or 5 words that you can use to convey the same thing, or you can have one word. So I would increase my vocabulary so that I can understand what is that one word that I can use in place of 5 words. For example, if you have to say, I do not appreciate this behavior at all, I have already used maybe 15 words. Instead of this, I can say, I abhor such behavior. So I've only used 4 or 5 words and still created the same or maybe even better impact. So that way I would be able to get the outcomes that I desire while still using the minimum words of the day. So I think that's a great table topic to have and forces us to think the right things and then forces us to use the right and minimum words. Thank you, Gayatri. Back to you.
Thank you so much. Truly appreciate your thoughtful perspective. Good. Okay, the second volunteer, or I can choose the speaker myself. Hiren. Toastmaster Hirender, can you take on the next topic?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure, Toastmaster Gayatri. I saw the Jaydeep also has his hand raised, but I'm happy to go next.
So you wanted to take first or next?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll take now.
Okay. Your topic is simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. Toastmaster Hirender.
Thank you, Toastmaster Gayatri. It's a beautiful topic. Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication because to be simple, it's not very simple to be very simple in a simple word. Because being simple, meaning that you sorted all your issues, you have sorted your day, you have sorted your relationship, you have sorted your work, and then you look simple. We always look forward and see some people look so gracefully simple. They are very well managed in terms of time, in terms of their appearance, and it look very simple how they do things. For example, if I may quote Mr. Mohit for our Toastmaster family, we always look how gracefully and effortlessly he take up the task and execute it. Even behind the scene also, we see how simply he can call for action and people follow because of his simplicity. But behind that, we see there is an expert level precision of word choose. He chooses the word very expertly that it pinpoints the message and it doesn't even harm. Even if there is a feedback for somebody, you can take it with a very graceful word and you understand that the intention was to improve, not to insult or to highlight or pinpoint somebody. So really impressed with how Mohit and in fact Toastmaster Vivek, Toastmaster Mehak do it. So it looks very simple, very easy, but it's extremely difficult to maintain that level of simplicity. Maintaining your calm, your composure, it's extremely difficult. It needs lots of practice, meditation, a lot of reading, I guess. That's all. Back to you, Toastmaster Gayatri.
Thank you, Toastmaster Hirender. That was a well-rounded answer. And the next topic is for Toastmaster. What's that?
Jaideep had his hand raised.
I don't find. Okay. Jaideep, could you please take it up?
Yes, sure, Toastmaster Gayatri.
The topic is for you. If you must teach only one life skill to your child, what it would be and why? If you must teach only one life skill to your child, what it would be and why? Toastmaster
Thank you,
Jaideep.
Toastmaster Gayatri, for giving me this such an interesting topic. And I believe that there is one very important skills which I would like to give to my child. It is self-dependent. It is a very important and crucial for everyone that we must be self-dependent. This one definitely I would like to pass to my child. Because when we grow up, sometimes we get depends upon others. Like for example, if you're working, so you will depend upon someone else that like your mother or your other family members will cook food for you. And if you want to travel, then you will depend on some other person that they will come by with the friends and you will go with them. They will give company to you to go to there. Or if you want to improve your fitness level, sometimes we are depends upon some other colleague or friends that if my friend will go with me gym, then I will also start to join gym. Sometimes we feel less self-motivated and we are depends upon others. If we want to travel some other place like some mountains or hill station, sometimes we find search for the company. We alone we cannot go there over there. So I would like to say this is the one of the habit I would like to pass to my child that self-dependent. You must be self-dependent, whether it's about the earning money or cooking at home or cleaning your house or going alone on the trip, or you want to start your own business, or you want to focus on your fitness going along on gym, or you want, if there's no resources available, then how can build your resources while you're on, how you can utilize as maximum as possible all the available resources. And like if you want to start swimming, you don't need to wait for your friends or someone to get some validation or motivation. You must be self-motivated to go out and take the decision that in this summer you want to start swimming. So I think self-dependency is the one of the habit I would like to pass him or her to her. And I believe this is the major and crucial habit in the life. Over to Toastmaster Gayatri.
Thank you. It's really a powerful point. Thank you so much. And can we have Mehak? Toastmaster Mehak?
Yes.
Okay, the topic is for you is the hardest part of success is knowing what to ignore. The hardest part of success is knowing what to ignore. Toastmaster Mehak.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Gayatri, for this wonderful topic that the hardest part of success is knowing what to ignore. Well, recently, when I have joined, like I'm taking some classes for a student and have been teaching her for a while. It has been a pleasure activity that we have been taking forward for. So I realized that initially when I was teaching, the child thought it did not feel like a relationship of a child and a teacher, because I felt that I am not technically a teacher to her. I'm just like a friend to her. And she was not taking certain things very seriously when I was teaching her. Like there were certain things when I started giving her homework, it was a time when came like she completely ignored it and said that maybe she can do it later, because she thought it as a friendship kind of relationship. And after a while, I kind of ignored that fact as well. Like, like it be she's a child, maybe she would improve upon it further. To which I realized that she has been doing this for a while, and there was no point of teaching, I thought, at a point in my life. So I thought that the success is sometimes would come after you ignore certain small problems in your life. I ignored her non-responsiveness behavior to the homework or to the classes or to the study material as well. And after a while, I realized that when I ignored this small problem in her, she took this a little serious. And after a while, she completed her homework. She started doing her classwork. And that's how I realized that once in life, you need to ignore certain small part of the things if you feel that the other person is not taking that responsibility as a part in themselves. And once you stop and ignore those activities, you will feel that the other person will realize that how important it is for them in certain stages in your life. So to be motivated or be successful in life, you need to ignore certain small problems that hampers your maybe your being or whatever you are taking part or whatever you are doing. Over to you, Toastmaster Gayatri. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mehak. That was a wonderful take on. And the next topic is for Toastmaster Kanchan.
Okay.
Okay. If you can save only one tradition for future generations, what it would be? If you can save only one traditions for future generations, what it would be?
One tradition for the future generation.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful topic. Thank you, Gayatri. One tradition. So we live in India. There are so many traditions. Like if we talk about, the clothes. So in Uttar Pradesh, there is a different, the tradition. In South state like Kerala has different tradition, and gracefully we accept all kind of tradition. So for future generation, I would say, accepting that diverse tradition, not one. Like we accept the humanity first, and accordingly we should follow the tradition. So I believe, our future generation should be follow the clothing tradition. I believe this is essential because we live in India, and we should follow our tradition without any insult, or maybe like you know if someone belongs from Kerala, so she or he can follow their state tradition, no matter where he or she is going, because this way only we can protect and transfer our tradition in future generations. So thank you, and back to you, Modi. Oh, sorry, Toastmaster.
Thank you. That was a well thought of. And timer, can we go for one more topic? So Toastmaster
okay.
Geeta, or you would you like to take that? Okay. The next topic is for Toastmaster Geeta. Too many choices often create confusion instead of freedom. Too many choices often creates confusion instead of freedom. Toastmaster Geeta.
Toastmaster Geeta, you are on mute.
You're on mute.
Thank you, Gayatri, for giving me this topic. Too many choices give us more confusion,
Confusion.
rather than. This is a topic related to this generation today, because in previous times we have only few choices, and that's why our life is so peaceful. We know that in our 20s we have to do this, in 24 we'll get married, like this we have to work also. But nowadays there is no timeline. 20s people are doing what they want to do when they are not getting married. And they have so many choices that they are not at all peaceful. They are just with so many choices, even they have so much of confusion in their lives, that the choices have become the prisons, not the freedom. Like in our generation, less of the choices, but we have lived our life so peacefully, so good, that but we have no laptops, we have no phones, we have good relations. But nowadays, with so many of choices, that communication is easy. But Facebook, 100 friends, but in real life, no friends. People are lonely. They are buying robots for themselves. What they are doing? They have choices, but no freedom. And we have, past generation, less of the choices and more of the freedom. So I would rather say that our generation, with less of the choices, I am extremely, extremely happy. But with more of the choices, I have become the prisoner of my choices. So no, I'm very happy that I am from the past generation and not from this Gen Z, because Gen Z is totally, totally not free, but in a prison with lots of choices. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Geeta. It was really a thought-provoking response. Okay. Is there any time left for the next topic? Hello, time.
I think it will be short of the time then, because we'll have to also cover the evaluation and other factors.
Okay.
Right?
Okay then. Thank you for all the speakers, and I'll. Hello, can you hear me?
Thank
Yeah,
you,
Yeah,
yeah.
you're
Toastmaster
audible.
Gayatri.
Back to you,
Okay.
Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Gayatri, for an interactive session. You have involved each and everyone. After sharing the story of Ivy League, I want to bring this concept closer to home with a personal experience. Early in my career, I had two very different bosses, and they unknowingly taught me one of the most important lessons of my life. In 2017, I worked with a boss who was highly educated, a graduate from one of India's premier institutes. On paper, he was brilliant, but in reality, he was constantly under pressure and often scolded by his own boss. I was quite close to him and I could see the stress in his life. He would skip meals, he had personal challenges, and he was always busy. But here's what I observed very clearly: he was doing a lot of work, but not the right work. He was involved in multiple activities: firefighting, attending meetings, solving small issues, but he often ignored or delayed the key priorities given by his own boss. I even discussed this with him a few times, but habits are hard to change. Over time, despite all his effort and hard work, he was demoted. That was my first real life lesson. Being busy is not the same as being effective. Then in 2018, I got a new boss, and this experience completely changed my perspective. I also became close to him and observed his working style. He was very average. He was a very average person from an average college. But what was different? He had a simple habit. He would write down exactly what his boss expected from him. He had absolute clarity on priorities. He focused on key things and ensured they were completed on time without fail. Everything else he delegated. He ignored low value work. He didn't try to do everything himself. And the result, within just 3 years, he got 2 promotions. Same organization, same environment, but completely different outcomes. And that's when 80-20 principle truly clicked for me. The first was focusing on 80% of the task, and that gave very little result. The second boss was focusing on the critical 20% that drove maximum impact. One was busy, the other one was effective. One reacted to work, the other prioritized the work. One lost direction, the other gained growth. Hence, today, as your Toastmaster of the day, I want to leave you with this simple but powerful thought. In your daily life, in your career, in your leadership, are you focusing on the important few, or are you stuck in the trivial many? Because success is not about how much you do, it's about how much of what you do actually matters. Thank you so much. And Kanchan had raised her hand. Kanchan, Toastmaster Kanchan.
Actually, I would like to add something here, as like especially for those who is taking the very first time, the leading role as a leader, as a manager. So they are like taking a step ahead from the execution to the managerial role, right? So what happened, especially it is my story. So like in managerial role, we have a lot of tasks, and like you said that you had two manager experience. One was focusing on only execution, not meeting the management expectation or the boss expectation. So when we are taking a step in leading role, we should focus on the urgent and important tasks by considering the management expectation, not the day-to-day operations activity, because there are certain people who is already managing the day-to-day activities. So we should focus on the delegation by understanding the team skill set and delegate the task, day-to-day task to those team member, and then in the first 10 minutes we should spend the time by understanding our boss expectation and the management expectation, and then we should work accordingly, like giving just 20% effort. And this approach helped me to uh, achieve the project outcome. So this was I wanted to add here. And for those who is taking the very first time the leading role, uh, they can focus on these skills. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kanchan, for giving very important advice. And this is important in our professional life. Any other point? Okay, thank you so much. Over to you, General Evaluator for today, Toastmaster Mehak, for your evaluation report.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Digay, Toastmaster Raja, for such a wonderful theme and for explaining it so well throughout and closing it down with a personal experience. It definitely brings us that how we can apply it to the real life as well. Now, as the general evaluator, I will share my report. First, I would like to call on stage our evaluators for the speeches. I would first like to call on stage Toastmaster Kanchan to evaluate our first speaker's speech, Toastmaster Manish's speech. The stage is yours, Toastmaster Kanchan.
Yes, just one moment. Well, I have read somewhere that confidence does not come from the talent. It comes from the consistency and the repetition. Toastmaster Manish delivered a wonderful speech. Small habit definitely leads outcome and success. He has shared many stories and tip how to develop small habits. Now, I'm I'm presenting my report what went well. I noticed that speaker shared his speech using the staple position, and I think this is the best hand gesture using or starting the speech. And he had maintained a great hand gesture throughout the speech. He shared his learning from Atomic book, and this is the book we all have read and experienced leverage from this book. He said consistency is key and repetition makes better. And we do same task for 21 days, then it becomes our natural habits. In public speaking, connecting audience is essential, and I felt that he mastered this skill. He asked question from the audience and also helped the audience by giving the practice tips. Like he provided Toastmaster Hirinder to how to build a small habit. With that, I see area for the improvement. I felt that speaker shared many stories without any, the structured flow. So I encourage the speaker to write one proper story. He can use the prep method like point, vision, explanation, and point. This will help him to connect with audience in a better way. Also, I felt that voice modulation could have been better. Overall, speaker spoke very well with confidence and maintained great eye contact. I look forward here excellent speeches in near future. All the best to the speaker and back to evaluator. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Kanchan, for sharing your report as the evaluator for Toastmaster Manish's speech. Next, I would like to call on stage Toastmaster Hirinder to please share his feedback and evaluation report for Toastmaster Pankaj's speech.
Thank you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Mehak. Can we spotlight Toastmaster Pankaj also? Toastmaster Pankaj, it's his icebreaker speech, and very beautifully he captured the audience attention with the opening statement while he was able to explain the meaning of the icebreaker, how the term came into existence. And we were completely hooked how he started the explanation of the topic. And then the body language was also, while he was deriving the different aspects and the different stages of his introduction, I could see the hand movement was completely in sync with the what he was speaking. So very well done on the body language part. The leverage and the last portion I will come back first. The speaker was very courageous when he introduced the vulnerability he had with the impaired listening ability, but the message he gave was fantastic, and everyone should applaud that we should know our limitation, but we cannot just cry about it. We have to accept it and move on. Beautiful message, Toastmaster Pankaj, and I think very well received. We were with you while you were describing your passion on the locomotives. You also had the locomotive specimen to show us, and it was really connecting the dots. How passionate it shows that how passionate you are with the locomotives. The other thing I really liked about the speech is the smile. The speaker was smiling throughout the speech. It's really difficult. I tried it many times, but still I'm learning to have that into my speeches. But kudos to you, maintaining the smile and the pace. On the recommendation side, I witnessed some of the R usage were little on the higher side. Maybe the grammarian will cover it, but on on a suggestion or the recommendation side, Pankaj, what I can see is we use more hours when we have either no thoughts or we have too many thoughts to align. So maybe in your next speeches, you would try and write down your thought in a sequence so that you don't have to choose which to pick as a next small story within your speech. So that will reduce your thinking time and you will have your natural flow to that will reduce the ah count, because whenever we think, and that's the natural sound, the filler sound we use when we are thinking. And the other thing I noticed, when you the although the body language was very well used, when you are moving, because of the internet or the video quality, I was not able to completely follow at point. I was not able to completely follow the hand movement because of the video quality, or maybe the since you might have blurred the background, so that could be one of the reason. Uh, I I think it's a great speech, Pankaj, and we look forward to hear from you more stories. All the best. Thank you. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Hirinder, for sharing your feedback for Toastmaster Pankaj's speech. Now, let's move on to the report from our tag team players. I would first like to call on stage our grammarian for the day, Toastmaster Mohit, to share his report.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mehak. I would like to share my screen for my report. So I've tried to do it a little differently today. Those are my notes which I'm sharing. So starting with Toastmaster Raja, I hope you can see. Mehak, can you confirm? Starting with Toastmaster Raja, and that's the best I can draw. So you all look much more handsome and beautiful than what you see here. So Toastmaster Raja had fantastic use of the English language today. He gave us some very powerful words like vital few, cost saving, cross-functional, potential, multitasking. And he also had some nice phrases like everyone's responsibility is no one's responsibility. He also shared with us the Ivy Lee method, which is a simple daily planning method we all can use. He also used a phrase important few or trivial many. Mehak had some decent good usage of words today. I noticed she used realized as one of the words, which is quite a powerful word. This red one is an example of usage by somebody in the speech today, which could be a little better, and that's a mistake that we all make. Somebody said it did not felt like. So this is a common mistake. It should be it did not feel like. So something for all of us to take back and learn. Now coming to the word of the day, the word of the day was used by Kanchan once, Mehak once, Hirinder once, Manish twice, and Gayatri once. Phrase of the day, find the lever, was not used by anyone, but I would urge you to take this back and apply this in your daily vocabulary. It's a very powerful word. Coming back to some good usages, Gita, Toastmaster Gita used words like meditation, sorted, peaceful. And what one phrase that I noted that she made was choices have become a prison rather than freedom. It's a beautiful phrase. What could be better? Again, someone said so many choices. We can use myriad choices. Myriad is a word that can replace two words and it adds a lot of power. So I was impressed by Toastmaster Gayatri's table topic also, where she said use the minimum words for the maximum impacts. So myriad is a word that can be used in place of so many choices. You can say there are myriad choices. Toastmaster Kanchan had some good usages. She said protect, consistency, mastered, and she talked about the PREP method, which is, according to her, point, reason, example, and point again for structuring a speech. Toastmaster Manish had quite a few good words like judicious. He also used some phrases like repetition helps form habits. It takes 21 days to make a habit. Reaping dual benefits, consistency, confined, and procrastinate. One suggestion for Manish is that there's a repeated use of okay, which comes every now and then in his speech. So you can try and avoid that. Hirinder used some fantastic words like consistency, confined, procrastinate, and actually, maybe I'm mixing up a little bit here. Hirinder also used pinpoint, effortlessly, precision, composure, and hooked. The phrase that I noted for him was know your limitations, but do not constantly cry about it. Toastmaster Pankaj, he told us the meaning of the word icebreaker. We use it so often, but it was only today that I realized that the literal meaning of the icebreaker is a special purpose ship, which is designed to move through ice covered waters and make way for other ships so they can pass safely. So thank you, Toastmaster Pankaj, for sharing that. He also used words like heritage and rail, rain fanning, which refers to a hobby of being interested in trains and rail transport systems. So we have Toastmaster Pankaj, who's a huge rain fanner among us. And thank you for that word also. One suggestion, someone's used present when it could have been at present, I am doing this. The sentence started with present. So that's something we can improve. And cochlear implant, that's another usage by Toastmaster Pankaj, which a lot of us may not be familiar with. It's an implantation to help the people with hearing disability to overcome this challenge to a great extent. And we have an example of Toastmaster Pankaj, who is leading doing this, right, using this. Toastmaster Gayatri used words like thought-provoking and simplicity. Toastmaster Jaideep used words like self-dependent and self-motivated. Yeah, so that's all I have for my report, and I'll hand over the stage back to you, Toastmaster Mehak. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mohit, for sharing a wonderful report as a grammarian. This was a detailed one, and I can see that so many good usage of the word being used in the meeting today. Kudos to all of you who great use of vocabulary and great idioms used in the meeting. Now I would like to call on stage Toastmaster Manish to share his report as the timer as well as the hour counter for the meeting.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mehak. Just sharing the screen. So I'll start with the timer report first. For the prepared speech, myself, I took 7 minutes and 49 seconds. Toastmaster Pankaj, for the prepared speech, he took 5 minutes and 33 seconds. Then for the TTM section, Mehak took 2 minutes 35 seconds. Mohit took 2 minutes and 19 seconds. Toastmaster Geeta took 2 minutes and 27 seconds. Toastmaster Jaideep took 2 minutes and 11 seconds. Toastmaster Kanchan took 1 minute and 40 seconds. Toastmaster Hirinder took 1 minute and 50 seconds. That's on the timer report. I'll move to the hour counter report. Now for the speaker, for myself, I'll not be able to tell, but I definitely the Toastmaster Mohit has mentioned about okay. Yes, that is the area I'm already working on. So apart from this, I'll come to the second speaker, Toastmaster Pankaj. So yes, Toastmaster Pankaj, you may have to work on you have been using very frequently in your speech. So that maybe with a little practice, you can overcome this and reduce the count down the line. Okay. Coming to the TTM section, so for Toastmaster Mehak, she used and I felt like she was using at couple of times in a repeated format. So that is something that you can work on it. Then moving to the next Toastmaster Mohit. So he was flawless. The way he was using pauses throughout, I felt like he's a very expert Toastmaster in handling all the filler words. So yeah, kudos to you. Moving to the next Toastmaster Geeta. So for Toastmaster Geeta, I saw she was using a couple of times. Other filler words, I didn't feel that she was using it. So very well. Moving to the next Toastmaster Jaideep. So again, his speech was also very much flawless. I didn't see any filler words being used. And then Toastmaster Kanchan. Toastmaster Kanchan, I see you have used a couple of times and so one time. So that is something you can work on it. And the last is Toastmaster Hirendra. So Toastmaster Hirendra again, he has delivered in a flawless manner. So yeah, so that's all from the R counter report per se. Giving the stage back to Toastmaster Mehak.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Manish, for sharing a wonderful report, both as the timer as well as the hour counter for the meeting. Now, with this, I would like to share my report as the general evaluator for the overall meeting. We started with a great segment by Toastmaster Soumya as the Sanjay Camp. She did a wonderful job, clearly setting the tone for the meeting today. The mindfulness activity that she conducted was very thoughtful and engaging activity, encouraged all of us to reflect on and let go of the negative emotions for all the week. This already felt like a perfect start to the meeting. So kudos to you, Toastmaster Soumya. Following that, as the presiding officer, I took over the stage and greeted the guests, took the introduction from them, made the announcement for the oration as well, and invited our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Raja, who came up truly wonderful, well-prepared, well-researched theme on 80:20 principle. What made this session truly inspiring and engaging was how he began by asking the audience about their understanding and their opinions on this principle, instantly making the meeting interactive from the very beginning. And not only this, he shared relevant and practical examples with each one of us, clearly showcased like how this principle can be applied in our everyday lives, like how we can improve productivity and efficiency in our day-to-day lives. He shared his personal experience as well towards the end of the segment, starting with opinions and ending with his personal experience was something that was a very good job done, Toastmaster Raja. I think we all can just go back and see that how a Toastmaster of the Day theme could be run well. And this meeting, I felt that the theme that has been showcased by Toastmaster Raja was wonderfully structured, initially showcasing and taking the audience opinion, coming to the sharing about the knowledge what he had of the theme by giving different types of examples, and towards the end giving a personal experience from his own life and how he has applied this principle in his own life, and towards the end again leaving us with the question like, are you stuck in all of it or just the important chunks of your life, like how we can apply this 80:20 principle. So great job, Toastmaster Raja. Awesome theme and very well structured and conducted very beautifully. We also had two wonderful speeches by Toastmaster Manish and Toastmaster Pankaj. Both the speakers brought their unique perspective and energy to the stage. They were very well engaged with the audience. Coming to Toastmaster Gayatri, who conducted the table topic session wonderfully, came up with some interesting and creative topics and make sure that the members actively participate in the KK session, creating a comfortable and an energetic environment. Now coming to our evaluators, Toastmaster Kanchan, I think she gave us a really good acronym prep, that is point, reason, explanation, and point, and shared some beautiful points of feedback for Toastmaster Manish's speech. One thing to add, what I felt could have been in the point of evaluation, that the speaker was great in his approach and good clarity of thoughts, and the content was awesome. Yet I felt that the title of the speech, that was celebrating small habits that lead to big results, I felt that this could be shorten maybe could be a bit shortened up so that it would have been delivered seamlessly. I felt that the topic was a little big to understand for the audience as well. Maybe you can shorten this
Sure.
up and create just a small one-liner or two, like one or two or
Sure,
three
sure.
words
Point
maximum.
taken. Point taken.
Then coming to Toastmaster Hirender, I think great thoughts again shared by you for the recommendation as well as for the commendation points that you shared, Toastmaster Harinder, like about the body language, the hand gestures, and not only this, the recommendation that you shared for the usage of I and how we can limit that as well. So great points you covered for recommendation as well as for commendation. Now coming to the tag team players, Toastmaster Mohit as the grammarian showed a very detailed and report for the grammarian, a visual report as well as the handwritten notes taking up. It felt like a personalized kind of report. So great job, Jan. Toastmaster Manish, kudos to you for taking up the last minute role as the timer. Not only this, you shared a wonderful visual report. So great job, Jan. Overall, the meeting was thoughtfully conducted and with great interaction, full of meaningful learnings with our Toastmaster, the Toastmaster Raja, Toastmaster Gayatri as the table topics master. Both of the wonderful speakers, evaluators, and the tag team players make the meeting a whole. So I felt that the meeting was really good. Let's meet next week with the same energy and the same kind of structure that we followed today. With this, I would like to pass on the stage to our presiding officer, Toastmaster Hirendra, to take it forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmasters Mehak. I thought Toastmaster Mohit is going to take it back. Do we have the votes, Toastmasters Mohit? Can we announce it today, or we want to do it later?
Yes, we can announce it, but I'll need another couple of minutes, so you can maybe get some feedback from the attendees, and I can collate the results in the meanwhile.
Okay. Can someone help me with the guest? I see Jaideep. Jaideep, are you a guest or a Toastmaster already? But in any case,
Yeah,
yeah.
Toastmaster Harinder, basically, I am not a part of this Toastmaster Club. I am part of the Gurgaon Professional Toastmaster Club. So today I joined this one, and I am looking forward to join this club. So,
Great. So
yeah,
you can
it
get
was
in
a
touch.
great meeting. I learned a lot, and it was enjoyable as well as everyone is very professional and well prepared. So I found I would like to join this club. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Jaideep,
Thank
for
you.
your feedback. Please get in touch with me, Toastmaster Mehak, or Toastmaster Mohit, and we can take it forward for your membership with our club.
Sir.
I see Soumya after a long time. Soumya, how did you feel the meetings about today?
Thanks,
Soumya,
Kirtan. Yeah. And,
how are you doing?
doing okay.
Who
I
else
think
we have?
very informative meeting. So I felt Toastmaster Raja conducted the teamwork session beautifully. So much to learn and so much to take away. Very thoughtful. So yeah. I- And also I like the table topics that Toastmaster Gayatri brought. They are very they also made you think. Not easy to answer, not too difficult to answer either, but yeah, kudos to you, Toastmaster Gayatri.
Thank you. Toastmaster Soumya, we'd love to see you back in action again. Since you
Sure.
Okay. Toastmaster Manish, how would you like to share your experience with our meeting? Toastmaster Manish.
Toastmaster Hirinder, there's something suddenly gone wrong with either your audio or my audio. I can't hear you properly anymore.
For me too, it is.
Okay, can let's do another test, maybe Toastmaster Hirinder?
Are you audible? This is a beautiful day.
Yeah, there's a very weird sound that is coming when every time you speak. So something wrong with the audio.
Try without headphones, yeah.
Let me just took off the mic. Am I audible now?
Yeah, it's very clear now.
Okay, great. So, do we have Toastmaster Manish? I think he left already. Looks like Toastmaster Manish is it's left. Do we have the results, Toastmaster?
Yes, I do have the results ready, Toastmaster Hirinder. So do you want me to announce that?
Yeah, sure. Please go ahead.
Okay, so the best speaker for the day goes to Toastmaster. Somebody who gave his icebreaker speech today. It goes to Toastmaster Pankaj. Congratulations, Toastmaster Pankaj.
Congratulations, Toastmaster Pankaj.
And the best evaluator for today goes to the evaluator of Toastmaster Pankaj. That's Toastmaster Hirender. Huge round of applause for Toastmaster Hirender. Best table topic speaker today goes to there seems to be a tie, and I have only got 5 votes. So basis that there's a tie between Toastmaster Mohit and Toastmaster Hirinder. So we can applaud for both of them. The best role player of the day for today goes to Toastmaster Raja. The best auxiliary role player goes to the grammarian of the day, Toastmaster Mohit. And everybody who voted thought that they loved the meeting, except for one vote which says it was solid. And yeah, somebody commented that it's a wonderful meeting. So yeah, that's all I have from the forms that were submitted today. Back to you, Toastmaster Hirinder.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mohit. Glad to hear everybody liked and only one solid. Think that's time to announce this meeting adjourned. Thank you so much for joining. See you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.